Hello my dear guys, welcome to the video. In this video we are going to look at a resolution of forces, right? How we are going to resolve the forces into two components. Fine, let us take an example and understand it in a more better way. Let us take a block which is placed in space. On this particular block, if I started applying a force in horizontal direction, the body will also tries to move in horizontal direction. Or else, if I start exerting the same force in vertically upward direction, so the body will also tries to move in the vertical direction. So it can be clearly noticed that in what direction I'm giving the force, in that direction the object starts moving, right? What if I apply both the forces at the same time? What if I apply both the forces on the object at the same time? The body starts moving in this direction, satisfying both the cases. Right? It can be clearly seen that if a body starts moving in this direction, it can be clearly seen that the body is moving towards right, at the same time it is also moving towards vertically upward direction. Right? So, and when the horizontal and vertical force are applied on a body, a new force is created in the body, and the body starts moving with a new force that is nothing but resultant. So this resultant will certainly have the components of vertical force and horizontal force, because it should satisfy both the cases. That is the reason it will have a vertical component and a horizontal component. So resolution of forces, it is nothing but we are gonna divide both the vertical force component and horizontal force component from a single force. So let us take an example and let us have a look. First, suppose there is a force of magnitude F is acting on a body at an angle theta, at the direction of theta. In order to find out the vertical and horizontal components, I will this will be the vertical component and this will be the horizontal component. In order to find out the vertical and horizontal components, I will write H equals to the force multiplied with cos of what we are calculating here, the horizontal component. So we have to measure the angle between the horizontal axis and the force, and that must be placed here. What could be the angle between the horizontal axis and F? It is theta. So here I can place theta directly. In order to find the vertical axis component, F into cos, and here what I have to place? I have to place the angle between the vertical axis and the force, because I'm calculating the vertical component. That is the reason I have to place the angle between vertical axis and horizontal axis. What could be the angle between the vertical and force? It could be 90 minus theta. 90 minus theta. So 90 minus theta. And cos 90 minus theta, it is nothing but sine theta. So V equals to force multiplied with sine, and this angle can be written directly by using sine, or else you may also can use this formula for your convenience. According to your convenience, you can use either of these formulas, right? So this is how we will calculate the components of a force. Let us take an example. For suppose a force of 500 newtons is acting on a body at an angle of 30 degrees. So we have to calculate the vertical component which is helping the force to be applied in vertical direction, and the horizontal component which is helping the force to be applied in horizontal direction. So we will find them both here. So in order to find the horizontal force, we have to multiply this force 500 with cos of what is the angle, 30 degrees, cos 30. So H equals to 500 into cos 30. What is the value of cos 30? It is root over 3 divided by 2. So since it is in newtons, the component will also be in newtons, since it is also one of the forces, right? And let us go for finding out the vertical component. 500 cos, or you can also use sine directly and use the angle which is given the question directly in it. So I will use sine, And what is the angle? 30 sine 30. And V equals to 500 sine 30. What is the value of sine 30? It is 1 divided by 2. V equals to 250 newtons. And V is nothing but it is 250 newtons, and H it is nothing but 500 multiplied with root over 3 divided by 2 newtons. You can also simplify this value and minimize it, and you can also write it in decimal forms, right? And this is how we will calculate the components, and we resolve the force of 500 newtons into the vertical and horizontal components. Hope you have understood the video. Thank you so much.